In this video, I will be explaining how to convert between units. So for this first problem, we are asked to convert 3.55 meters to centimeters. So the first thing that we should know before doing this problem is that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Once we know this, we can start the problem. So what we start by doing is we start by putting 3.55 meters over here, and we multiply it by what is called a conversion factor. A conversion factor is basically just this right here that we've written down. So basically all that we do is we put 1 meter on the bottom, and we put the 100 centimeters on the top, and we write it like a fraction. The reason we do this is so that when we multiply the original number, these units will cancel, and all that we'll be left with in the answer is centimeters, the units that we're looking for. So when we multiply these together, we get 355 centimeters, which is the answer. Okay, for this next problem, let's do it the same problem, but the opposite direction. So centimeters to meters. So what that will mean is 3.55 centimeters to meters. So it's very similar. We use the same method. We multiply it by a conversion factor, but this time we put centimeters on the bottom, we put meters on the top, because we want the centimeters to cancel. We know 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters, and when we multiply these two together, we get 0.0355 meters, which is the answer. Okay, for this next problem, let's do a problem that's a little more complicated. So this problem asks to convert 2,678 centimeters to feet. So this one is a little more complicated because we have to do this one in 2 steps. Before we can start the problem though, we should know that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, and 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Okay, now that we know this, we can start the problem. So we start with 2,678 centimeters, and we multiply it by the first conversion factor. So we want to get centimeters to feet. Let's first cancel the centimeters. So let's put centimeters on the bottom, and we know 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So we can cancel the centimeters, and we'll be left with the inches. So that's still not feet, so we have to do it one more time. So we know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. So we put that conversion factor like that. So the inches will cancel, and all we're left with is feet. So when we multiply this out, we get 87.9 feet, and that's the answer. So this one is a little more complicated just because we have to do 2 conversion factors in order to get the answer. Okay, this next problem is a little more challenging, but it should be okay. So what it asks is to convert 90,000 seconds into days. So this will be a multi-step conversion. So start with the 90,000 seconds, and we have to work our way up to days. So in order to cancel seconds, we can start with how many seconds are in a minute. So we know that 60 seconds is in 1 minute. I put the 60 seconds on the bottom so that it'll cancel units. So now we have minutes. So now we got to cancel the minutes. So in order to build up to days, we have to go to hours. So how many minutes in an hour? Well, we know 60 minutes are in 1 hour. So the units will cancel there, and now we have hours. Okay, so how many hours in a day? 24 hours is equivalent to 1 day. So the units will cancel there, and all we'll be left with is days. So if we multiply all this together, we get 1.04 days, and that's the answer. So this one is slightly more challenging just because there's multiple steps to get the answer. Okay, for this last problem, it's a little bit different than the ones we've done so far, but it's not any harder. So this question asks, convert 650 square inches to square feet. So before we start this problem, we should know that 1 inch is equal to 0.083 feet. Okay, once you know that, you can start the problem. So 650 square inches is what we start with, and we multiply that by a conversion factor. So we multiply it by this conversion factor. 1 inch on the bottom is equivalent to 0.083 feet, and the inch will cancel with one of the inches here. It doesn't cancel with both because this inch is being squared. So what we have to do is we have to multiply it again by that same conversion factor in order to get rid of the other inch. So 1 inch on the bottom again, and the same feet on the top this time. So now the inch will cancel with the other inch, and we'll be left with feet squared on the top. So we multiply this together, we are left with 4.5 square feet, and that's the answer. So this one's slightly different just because we have to multiply by the same conversion factor twice in order to get rid of the squared.